The purpose of this lesson is to help you download the software and make sure that all the parts are properly installed on your computer. The software works for Windows PCs, it works for Intel, Apple Macintoshes, and it works for PowerPC Apple Macintoshes. The first thing that you do is go to the website bcook.cs.georgiasouthern.edu. At the top of the page is a link to an m.zip file, which is about 570 kilobytes, which is m.zip. You just click on that. You get a message that says contains an application, and you continue downloading. And you may get another message about it containing an application, and you continue downloading. And you should download it to your desktop, which would make it easy to find. And if you look on your desktop, you should have a folder with the very simple name of M. Now, a folder is basically used to organize all information on any computer, whether it's Linux or a PC or a Macintosh. The concept is the same. And in fact, as we go through learning how to program, we're going to cover quite a number of different concepts that have to do with computing. A folder can contain objects as well as other folders. So if you double click, that is, you click the button quickly twice with the cursor, which is the little arrow positioned over the folder. Remember, the folder is named M, just this lowercase letter M. And if you look in the folder, there are a number of txt files. That means text, meaning human readable text. There's a directory called Fun, which contains graphics, whose purpose you'll see a little bit later in the course. There's a folder of sample programs called OGL, and you can ignore that for the moment, but if you're a somewhat advanced user and just curious, you might try executing some of those sample programs. If you are on the PC, then at this point, looking at the folder M with art.txt, clear.txt, help.txt, etc., you would double click on mc.exe, or if your folder is set up to hide extensions, and the extension is the dot and the letters following the name of something, then you might just see MC in your folder. So if you're on a PC, you click MC, and if you're on an Apple Macintosh, then you click M. So I'm going to click at this point, and you get a terminal window with the date at the top, usually, and also a prompt, which most well-behaved applications will generate, that tells you the date and version of the application. In this case, it's the September 2006 version of the M system. Now, for anything that you ever do on a computer, the first thing that you want to learn is how to find help. And typically that can be accomplished by typing a question mark and an enter, or by typing help and enter. And notice that for either one of those with M, you get an output. The output says that command files, a file is just one of the .txt names, must be contained in a folder such as M, and that you can execute these command files by just typing a period followed by the name of the file. And in fact, in starting to program or learning how to program, the first thing that we're going to do is to look at commands. And on a computer, you command the computer to do things. So this is sort of a power trip. And we're going to start out by giving what we just learned about help to the commands. And so the first command that we'll give is .help. And you would print at the greater than sign, you would type .help and then enter. The output says that M for beginning programmers has only 3 commands. .art space hyphen .help, which of course is what you just typed, and .colors space hyphen, which prints all the color names that are part of the graphics environment that you'll be working with. Click on the title bar of your picture, which we'll do in a minute. Type the X key and that will close the window. Click on the title bar of the M window, hold the control key down and type C or control C, which will terminate M, or alternatively on a Macintosh you can close the window by clicking in the little red circle in the upper left corner of the title bar, or on a PC you would click on the X, which is in the upper right hand corner of the title bar. Notice that I'm using the same terminology on both Apple computers and Windows computers because in most cases concepts are independent of any computer. So let's try closing the window. If you're on a Macintosh, click on the little red circle. If you're on a PC, click on the X. And you should get a question about the window terminating, or it will just disappear. Okay, at this point you can get it back just by double-clicking on the executable, either M for Macintosh or MC for a PC. The M or MC program is well behaved. It's called a shell or an interpreter, and it's well behaved because if you type a question mark it gives you help. In a similar fashion, command is well behaved if you type just its name and it tells you something about itself. So if you type .help, it tells you that there are 3 commands, .art, .help, and .colors. Try typing .art, .art, enter, and you'll see that you get a message that indicates what the art command does. Now if you want to execute the command, then for reasons that will be explained later, we need to add the minus sign. So if you type .colors space minus enter, then you get a list of all the colors that the graphics system understands. And if you type .art space minus enter, then you'll get the graphic picture that we'll be working with in Lesson 2. And if you look in the Terminal M window, you may need to click and hold the mouse down on the caption or the title bar, and you can move it so that you can see it. You'll see that everything that happened in the graphic window has a text explanation in the M window. And this basically is a documentation of what the commands are doing, and is going, in Lesson 2, going to provide a helpful way to make sure that what you tell the computer to do is in fact what it does do. So at this point, let's set the focus to the graphic window, and we do that by clicking on the title bar, and then we're just going to type the X character and it will close the window. In Lesson 2, we're going to go through how you can make new and interesting kinds of designs by modifying the commands that are used to create the graphic window.